Hey guys, Smokey here, and I'm going to be breaking down to you today two different specs for PvP for the Gunslinger. I got my Gunslinger 50 a few days ago, and I've been enjoying it, not so much loving it, but I'm enjoying it. So first of all, we're going to be looking at the two possible specs. I'll talk about why I don't take SWTOR first. SWTOR is a lot of AoE damage, lots of AoE. It's good for interrupting people from like capping points and stuff, but it's not a sustainable really DPS. I mean, I've found like Sharpshooter and Dirty Fighting to be a lot more DPS orientated than SWTOR. So first of all, we're going to be looking at Dirty Fighting. The difference between Dirty Fighting and Sharpshooter is your physical damage, burst damage, kick-ass damage. Dirty Fighting is your dot-based damage. And Dirty Fighting doesn't really come into play until you get the 31 point talent, because it doesn't start doing a lot of damage until you get it. So first of all, what we're going to be looking into in Dirty Fighting is we want to increase our damage of our main abilities. So you're going to have to pick up some filler points first. So you're going to pick up Nose Hole Bard, which increases your crit chance by 6%, standard ability. We're going to pick up Black Market Mods, which increases our haste by 4%. Open Wound increases your duration of your Vital Shot by 3 seconds. As this is one of your main ticking abilities for dot damage, you're going to want to take your 1 point in this. Vital Shot has a 12.5% chance to tick twice when it inflicts damage. You put 2 points into this and it goes up to 25%. Reduces all the target's accuracy by 10% after popping Flashbang. Right, here's what you want to look at now. I prefer going for Dirty Escape because it allow the flash powder basically is great if you're getting targeted and you want them to miss a lot, but still 20% for 2 points is kind of crap. Whereas Dirty Kick being reduced by 15 seconds and increases your movement speed by 30% after activating Dirty Kick is really good. You can literally run away or run around them and just continuously shoot them while you're running away. The great thing about Dirty Fighting is it doesn't require a lot of stuff to be used behind cover, which of course if you're playing Gunslinger you know is shit basically, because you're always having to drop behind cover to do your main attack. So I'll talk about that more in Sharpshooter. Your next item you want to get is Sharp Bomb. This is amazing. You'll find out later when I go through the rest of Spec. But Sharp Bomb hurls a Sharp Bomb that explodes, basically causing up to 3 targets within 5 minutes to bleed. You got to pick it up. It's another bleed effect, and I'll explain to you well, if you've got your Gunslinger to 50, you'll know that you have an ability that causes all your dots that depending on how many dots you have on your target, one of your abilities does more damage. So you want to also pick up 2 points in Bombastic, which increases the damage dealt by your Thermal Grenade and Sharp Bomb by 8%. You want to pick up Cheap Shots, which increases the damage done by Quick Shot, Speed Shot, and Wounding Shot. Continue you use all 3 of those shots in this spec. You're going to be using Quick Shot while running around. You're going to be using Speed Shot when you're behind cover, and you're going to be using Wounding Shots either behind cover or running around. So it is an amazing talent for 6% increased damage. You gotta take it. Increasing the critical hit of all your periodic effects by 4%. Amazing talent. When you put it in, you get 12%. So that's going to make your dots tick, your critical chance of your dots even higher. We're going to be looking at, right, you got chance here to choose between 2 points in Fighting Spirit or 2 points in Quick Getaway. Like, Quick Getaway reduces the cooldown of your dodge ability by 15 seconds, bringing it down to 45, which means that you can block so many attacks for a few seconds. And it also reduces your cooldown of your trinket sort of thing to get out of movement repair effects by 30 seconds. So that brings down to 1.5 minute, 1.3 minute cooldown, 1.5 minute cooldown. What am I talking about? So I prefer in PvP to take Quick Getaway because I really normally don't run out of energy for like Cool Head. Just gives me more of my energy back, and basically when you critical hit with a bleed effect you restore 1 energy. I don't really find that I'm running out of energy a lot in this spec because you're dot based. You're going to put a dot, a couple of people run away, put a dot on a couple of people, and so on. So far, we're going to be looking at wounding shots. Once you put your 2 points in quick getaway, you get wounding shots. This is a great ability because basically it fires a wave of bolts for each second, dealing so much weapon damage. For each of the bleed effects you have present on the target during each wave, the target hemorrhages for an additional 221 internal damage. So yeah, you put all your dots on, they're going to take more damage because they have those dots on. So you want to take 1 point in that. And then you got reopen wounds, which increases the critical chance of wounding shots and speed shot by 2%. As you're using both of those, you want to take them. I don't normally take feeling woozy, which is basically a 100% chance to reduce the movement speed of all targets by 30% for 6 seconds. Normally because I'm fast enough to catch them up, I'm not going to be behind cover that much unless I know the fact that I'm not going to be targeted. But being behind cover is such a nasty thing sometimes because if you're not positioned correctly, you're going to get fucked in the ass by a sin. So, Dirty Trickster, great ability. Surrender has a chance to remove all movement pattern effects when activated. Brilliant, basically a second trinket. Gotta take it. Then you basically got 2 trinkets. You got your normal escape and you got Dirty Trickster, which now makes your surrender. Surrender is normally a PvE ability, but you can make it a PvP ability by just putting 2 points into this. Now we get to the part where we actually start doing damage. Because at this point, damage, if you're like level 30 odd and whatever, you got this spec, you're gonna do not much damage. When you get as far and you get cold-blooded, it increases your damage dealt by bleeding effects by 5% on the target below 30% max health. So when you put 3 points in this, you're doing 15% more. Your bleed effects are doing 15% more when the target's below 30% health. And the whole point about that is that you're doing the dots to get them lower. You're doing your main attack, so as soon as you get them below 30% health, those dots start ticking for a lot. As long as they don't get a heal, I found most time that I leave a target about 20% health, I run away, he dies. As long as he doesn't get a heal, he's going to die because the dots just tick and tick and tick. Hold your ground reduces the cooldown of defense screen by 15 seconds and pulse detonator by 10 seconds. It's okay, it's not that bad. I mean, defense screen doesn't really absorb a lot of damage, but it's a good cooldown to try and keep yourself alive. So taking 2 points in that, you don't really have to take 2 points in that. I mean, if you're finding that you're having problems, you're having no problems surviving, but you're having problems with energy, you can swap your 2 points in hold your ground into fighting spirit, or vice versa. For me, I find more chance that I get targeted a lot, being 50 at my level and other people being lower, I get targeted quite a lot. So at the moment I'm preferring defense screen. In long-winded battles, I might eventually, when everyone's 50, go to fighting spirit and see if it works out better. Your 31 point talent, which has got to be one of your best talents, is basically you deal 161 to 247 weapon damage, and it causes the target to take an additional 30% damage from the smuggler's next 10 bleed effects. That is crazy, because basically you're doing all your attacks and literally bleed. So you're running around, you're putting all your dots on, and what you want to do is, like, if they're about to hit 30% as well, or about 40% health, you want to hit them with a hemorrhaging blast, and then cold-blooded takes effect as well. So it's increasing the damage by 15%, and that's stacking with your an additional 30% damage from your hemorrhaging blast, which just makes it like anyone below 40% health is just going to drop so fast from your dots. So you want to take that. Now we have 10 points left. We have our 31 in Dirty Fighting, and now we get to choose what do we want, Sharpshooter or Saboteur. So we're going to look at the abilities, what we get first in the bottom 3. We get, in Saboteur, we get Streetwise, increases your cunning by 3%, maximum energy by 5, and reduces the cooldown of Flash Grenade and Thermal Grenade. So all 3 of these are great for PvP. Accuracy for Sharpshooter, not really needed. Increases the damage dealt by charge burst, speed shot, and wounding shots by 3%. Really good. That's actually 6% by wounding shot and speed shot. Cover screen. When exiting cover, you have 50% chance to gain cover screen, increasing your range defense by 20% for 6 seconds. Great defensive ability. So the trees have got mostly good ideas in both of them. But what I gotta get Streetwise. You know, it's 9% extra cunning, it's more damage. Bravado is really good, increases your maximum energy by 10, meaning you're gonna do more attacks. Then I usually basically think that I usually basically think, yeah. Hot Pursuit. This is where I get a bit funky and I don't know what to take. See, you've got different abilities here, which, like, you've got Cool Head now heals you for 3% of your total health over 3 seconds. That would be a bit great thing to take if you're taking Fighting Spirit, because it reduces your Cool Head by 30 seconds, bringing it down to 1.5 minutes. So in conjunction with those two abilities would work great together, because in this spec I'm not taking it. I'm not really bothered about it. Hot Pursuit is a great ability. It just means that when you're exiting cover, you get to use your Charge Burst while standing and not in cover. But then again, I don't use Charge Burst that much. I'm more using Wounding Shots, Quick Shot, and Speed Shot. So I'm not really bothered about using Charge Burst. Increasing your total endurance by 2%. That's not bad. So the final points that I normally take are, I'll take 2 points in endurance, increasing my health by 4%. Then I'm going to take 2 points increasing steady shots to give me that extra 6%. And then you got 1 point left over. I usually throw that in SWTOR's utility belt, reducing the cooldown of Flash Grenade by 7.5 seconds and Thermal Grenade by 1.5 seconds. The reason being, I mean, if you're finding you're not dying a lot, you can literally take the 1 point out of the Underworld Hardships, put it into Saboteur's utility belt, giving you more versatility on your Flash Grenade and more damage on your Thermal Grenade, because you're going to get to do more. And you can then put your 1 point back in endurance, or you can stick it into cover screen, giving you a 50% chance to get that range defense when you come out. But for now, I prefer just that, so it's going to be 31, 8, 2. Because I want to pick up this extra damage from steady shots. The only other thing you could do, if you skip this tree, you'd be able to pick up some of the other abilities. I prefer not to. So that's my spec, guys, for Dirty Fighting for Smuggler. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you guys find the spec helpful to you. I do. It's a lot of burst damage and a lot of survivability, taken into fact that you get 2 trinkets and you get Dirty Escape, which is ridiculous, because just kicking someone in the balls and then being able to run for 30% and extra speed is just retarded. The amount of times what I tend to do is I run up someone, kick them in the balls, run away really fast, and then as I'm running away, shooting them from behind while they're in that stun. It's amazing. So guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.